Let's do it.
Hey, Lachie, how you doing?
Good. I'm very well, Andrew. Yeah. No, it's been a busy couple of days, but I'm going well.
Great. So, of course, congratulations on winning The Voice 2022. Like, has it actually sunk in that you've won The Voice?
Nah. Every time I hear someone say that, what you just said,
Mhm.
it's still like, oh yeah, that is what happened. And nah, it hasn't fully sunk in yet, but maybe in a week or two it might settle in after, all this sort of craziness is has died down a little bit, but I'm
Sure.
absolutely loving it. Yeah.
Now, a lot of people will go, oh, all the hard work's paid off. You won The Voice. But the hard work's actually going to go into its second phase now. It's only just starting to begin. What's the last couple of days been like?
Oh yeah, I mean, this has just been a small little taste of the work that needs to be put into yeah, to get where you need to be. I mean, I'm a realist, and I'm not silly to know that the show can only get you so far, and then it's you got to do the work to make sure you stick around, because people's attention spans and things like that, they'll forget about the show pretty quickly and move on. There's a new show next year, so they can move on pretty quickly unless I get to work and make good music and keep writing good music for them to listen to.
I've got to ask, has the game of hurry up and wait gotten tiring yet?
Hurry up and wait. I haven't experienced it that much just yet, so I'll get back to you in maybe 6 months, and we'll see how we're going.
We'll
But
schedule it in.
yeah, but
So,
no, I'm super keen to get to work, and I love writing music and I love recording music. So as long as I can do that, the releasing stuff will happen as it happens, and I'm just happy to keep meeting people and writing with people and yeah, recording stuff.
cool. So as you know, there was a bit of controversy about the final show not being live and you guys having to pre-record all your endings. So you hired out a cinema. You also did a little bit of a family thing after. How did it affect you being pre-recorded? Because to be honest with you, I saw the footage from the cinema. It wouldn't have mattered if you're in the studio or not. You look pretty happy.
Oh yeah, it's you can only, I mean, unless you're an actor, you can only be so excited about something that's hasn't happened yet. I guess we tried our best to get ourselves into the mindset of what would it feel like if you did win.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of channeled the fact that I was even in the top four, and that was sort of the emotion when we were recording, to try and make it feel as real as possible so that it would come across, real to the audience watching. But yeah, as you could see by my video that I posted to Instagram, there's a big difference between the two reactions. Obviously, yeah, that one in the cinema with my family and friends was above and beyond what the one on the show was. But yeah, I guess that's just how it works, and yeah, you can't fake those true emotions that came out when I was watching it with family and friends.
What was the biggest thing that you took away from your coach Rita during your time on the show?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely a lot of things. She's an amazing performer, so I definitely leaned on her for performing advice and techniques and things like that. But the biggest thing was just her belief in me, and her confidence that I had what it took to be there, and to be there at the end. And it probably took a while for me to actually fully believe her when she was saying those things, and realize that she was being honest. She wasn't just saying it for the TV. She actually believed in me and my ability, and that's why she took me to the end. She always said, you're don't compare yourself to others, because you're not like them. You're different. You've got this tone and a voice that connects on a different level. So she always made that very clear, and eventually I believed her and realized that I did deserve to be there, and then she took me to the end and got me over the line. So it was pretty incredible.
Now, she actually blocked Guy to get you on her team. So, how did you feel about it at the time? But do you think it all worked out for the best? Obviously, winning the show.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, it worked out for the best. Yeah, on the stage, it was just like such an overwhelming experience, and I'll say it every time. It's like, I did not expect for all this to happen. I didn't expect for chairs to turn around. I was hoping, but I never fully, expected it to happen or thought, I'm going to get chair turns. It's like, you just go out there, you sing as best as you can, and whatever happens. And for all coaches to turn around, I was mind blown. And I you have your ones that you're like, oh, that person would be great fit for me. But I was always going to wait for the pictures and see what they said, and see who really wanted me. And so when Rita blocked Guy, it was a pretty obvious decision for me that she was super keen to have me on her team. So I went with that.
Perfect. I want you to tell everyone about the winner single, because it's a big deal, and it has been since the days of the first Idol season and all through all of these shows. That first winner single is so important. So you tell me and all of our viewers and listeners about your winner single.
Yeah, so I had that song written for me. I do write my own songs, but this particular one was written for me by a guy called Ned Houston and Robbie Desar. And when I heard the song, after the semi-finals leading into the final, I was just instantly, hooked on it. Not only because it was similar to the music that I had already released and been writing, but it took me to a really like special romantic place almost, and just had that emotion in the song that I knew I could perform that one with conviction. It's a strange feeling. I've never experienced getting songs written for me, so it was a first for me. So I was sort of going in a bit nervous about how it would work, but it was just a song that was just like perfect for me, just fits in so well with the rest of the stuff. And I sung it my way, and we had to change a few things about the song to make sure it fit in my voice and my range, and it was exactly what I wanted. So we definitely fiddled with a bit of the production and the song, and it just turned out better than I even imagined. So super proud of that song, and now it's mine, and I've put my own meaning to it, and sing it the way that I like to sing it. So it's pretty cool.
Now, flipping it to moving forward and writing your own songs, I want to actually understand a bit more about who your songwriting influences are.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of musical influences, and they sort of, I wouldn't say week to week, but probably month to month, I'm getting new artists that I get hooked on. And I think that's the crazy world of these streaming platforms. You've just got so much music there to listen to, and so many artists. And I get people sending me songs and artists and say, oh, listen to this guy, and you listen to it and you go, wow, this person is good. And all of a sudden you've got all these different people influencing the way you write. But I've always been, probably for the last maybe 4 or 5 years, Dean Lewis has been a massive one for me. The way he tells his stories through his songs is pretty incredible, and the emotion that comes through his voice, like it's, I'm not a big one on super poppy production that your voice sounds just perfect. I still like to hear that rawness and that emotion, the cracks in your voice that I think make the story that you're telling real, and make people go, wow, like I can connect with this so easily. So all those people that have that coming through in their songs and through their voice, I listen to. Another one is Clinton Kane, who is just such a powerful voice, and he's Australian also. So I like to keep it, to Australians, but I also listen to the bigger artists, the Ed Sheerans, the Kid Leroy's, Justin Bieber. Like it's just huge range of artists that all add. But I grab my acoustic guitar and I'll play along and turn my voice memos on my phone and just keep going until something half decent comes out, and then I'll run with that and start writing lyrics in my journal. So pretty straightforward process, but it seems to work when I'm just sitting in my bedroom, coming up
Yep.
with ideas.
So what's more important to you, singing a song well or telling a story well?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to do is sort of look at my my voice journey and realize that vocally, I think, you know, some of my performances, especially early on, they definitely were a bit shaky, and you could hear the nerves coming through. I wouldn't say I was pitchy or anything like that, but you know, it definitely wasn't this high range voice. It was the thing that I think and what I'm hearing from, you know, people sending me amazing messages is it's that connection and that realness of my voice and how I'm conveying these messages in the songs. Early days, it was those, you know, those ballads that a bit sad and quite powerful if you sing them with conviction and believe what you're singing. So that's definitely what I hold on to. It's the storytelling rather than hitting those, you know, high notes.
Sure. Now, your parents were massive supporters in sort of actually helping you find your own voice at a young age, when you're probably a little bit afraid to step out. How important is a support network going into the show and now post-show?
Oh, it's the most important, I'd say. Like, you meet a whole heap of people along the way, but there's nothing like those solid people that have been there with you know, with you from day one. My parents, it was with the footy, it was with my music, I went to uni for 4 years and studied to be a teacher, and everything that I've done, they've been there, full support, 100%. And yeah, it's like you have your tough days, but you get through them because they're there to support you when you're feeling down, or when you're feeling good, they're there to, you know, celebrate as well. So it's, yeah, there's no real words to describe that support and how much it's impacted my journey and to where I've gotten now. I've got two amazing older sisters as well, who will be the first one to tell me my head's starting to get a bit too big. So
Yep.
having that sort of stuff as well is just yeah, super special and super important to me, especially now with, yeah, I guess being in the spotlight, I guess, with this. And yeah, I think I'm in good hands with everyone around me, and I've got a beautiful partner as well who, again, does the same thing. If I'm ever getting too ahead of myself, she'll bring me back down, and she's there to support me. So
Perfect. So it's the nature of the industry with these shows that you are going to attract your fair share of shit talkers and detractors. Is it hard to not sort of comment? Is it hard to sort of let it slide?
no, I don't think it is that hard. I mean, I do feel empathy a lot of the times towards those people that, you know, are jumping on and purposely trying to put people down, because there's obviously other things going on in their own lives as to why they're doing it. So I definitely sometimes can get a bit emotional, but it's not because I'm, you know, affected by what they're saying. It's feeling empathy towards them. So no, I've never been one to read into that. I mean, even with footy, you get, sometimes it's real life, you know, people over the fence yelling at you, calling you things, but I'm pretty cruisy with letting that go. And I know that I work hard in anything that I do to get where I want to go. So it's, you can't knock that. And yeah, I just push through it and work hard and give them a reason to then follow me. Hopefully those people that are saying whatever they're saying, in a year's time, they're listening to my music and going, actually, this guy did deserve to win the voice and win the show. And yeah.
Cool. Now, you said a year's time. So what do you think your next 12 months is going to look like?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't put a timeline on it, because I have absolutely no idea of the timeline, but I just know that I will be writing and making music for a time to come. And however that works on a timeline, I'm not exactly sure, and I'll figure that out over the, you know, coming weeks, months on what my plan is and moving forward. But yeah, super keen to just get cracking on it and not waste too much time in taking all this in. Obviously, I need to take it in a little bit and have a bit of time to understand what's happened and enjoy it. But then, yeah, the work definitely starts for me, and I love it. Like, I love working hard. I did it with footy. It's obviously different because footy was more of a physical work rather than this is, a bit more mental and a bit more, they're different in their own aspect, but I'm still very accustomed to working hard and knowing that you have to do that if you want to get to a high place in whatever field you're doing. Otherwise, people overtake you, or there's someone that fills your shoes.
Like you said, there's another season next year.
Exactly right. Yeah. And it's like, not that I want people to forget that I was on The Voice, but I want to do things that turn into people going, oh, that's Lachie who wrote that song, who, rather than, oh, Lachie from The Voice. I love that now, and I love that I get that recognition from the show. But I'm super excited to be able to turn that into, oh, that's Lachie who wrote that song that I listened to. So yeah.
Do you know if there's any live shows penciled in?
I will probably in the next coming weeks figure out that plan, and there definitely will be live shows, because I'd be happy to jump up on a stage now and play a full hour show of my own music and a few covers just on the guitar. So, but we just need to work out a plan of how that works, and there'll definitely be shows coming up, whether that's just with me or with other people. But yeah.
Sure. Do you have a bucket list for bands you want to tour with or artists you want to tour with?
Oh, I haven't put one together. Some people were asking if I'm going to work with Rita, and I'm like, well, that's a big one. I sort of want to start pretty reasonable with my goals. I have always loved the idea of singing my own original songs to full crowd, whether that's a 200 people venue or 1,000. It's like, I just love the idea of having people that are there to watch me. I've played my fair share of pubs and things where I'm just background noise. So my first goal is to play some shows where people are there listening to me and singing back my songs that they've listened to on Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. So yeah.
Perfect. And as we finish up today, first I want to thank you for hanging with Hear2Zen, as we call it here. But what do you want to tell everyone out there, to look out for, or just a message for everyone?
No, I really appreciate you having me on, and it's been so cool to talk to so many different people, and you're all amazing. But moving forward, I mean, all I can ask is that people stick with me and support me through this next chapter. Like, it really is. It's something that I was always really hoping for, and now that I've got this opportunity and this platform to jump into this next stage, I'm super excited. And all I ask is that you stick around and wait for the music that's to come. And if I'm to do shows, to book your tickets, because this is what I love doing, and I want to be able to share that with as many people as possible.